Hello dear children, I am Alka Jolly, your English teacher. Today I am going to explain you lesson 5, Going to the Village of your book. I will be reading the lesson line by line and will be explaining it thoroughly, side by side. And all of you read it on your own later on from your book. Now let us begin with the lesson. Nitya and Aditi are going to visit their uncle and aunt who live in a village. They are traveling with their parents. Nitya is very excited and keeps glancing out of the train window. She has never been to a village before. So this lesson is about Nitya and Aditi. They are going to the village where their uncle and aunt live, and they are very excited because they have never been to the village before. And Nitya, she keeps glancing out of the window of the train. Keeps glancing means keeps looking out. So she keeps looking out of the window of the train. Nitya, how much longer? I am waiting to play with the calves and feed the ducks. Aditi, do you think they have rabbits there? Mother, there were no rabbits when I was a child. There are large fields where you can play with your cousins. Aditi, and what do Uncle Naresh and Auntie Rujuta do? Mother, they work on the farm. They grow sugarcane and rice. Rujuta auntie also runs the girls' school. Now, while sitting in the train, they were talking with each other. So, Nitya asks her mother that how much longer, how much time it will take to reach the village, as she is very curious. She is waiting to play with the calves and feed the ducks. Now Aditi says, do you think that they have rabbits as well? Now mother replies that when she was a child there were no rabbits, but now there are large fields where both of them can play with their cousins. Now Aditi asks that what do Uncle Naresh and Auntie Rujuta do? The mother tells them that they have their own farms, and on their farms they grow sugarcane and rice. And Auntie Rujuta also runs a school for girls. So this is a picture of the train in which all the four are sitting and talking to each other. Father. They started it last year so that the girls in the village can study in a school nearby. Sometimes when it is cool, they have their classes under a huge banyan tree. Nitya, I would love to make friends with all of them. Now, father was listening to their conversation, so he tells them that auntie and uncle started the school last year only because there was no school for girls in the village and the girls had to go outside the village to study. So they wanted that the girls should study nearby only. So they started their school exclusively for girls. So sometimes when it is cool, the girls have their classes under a huge banyan tree. Huge means big banyan tree. And Nitya, after listening this, she says, I would love to make them friends or with all of them, with all the girls who are studying in the school. Father, looks like our station is just a few minutes away. Aditi, how will we reach the farm? Are there autos and taxi to take us there? Father, no, there are buses. Maybe your uncle and aunt will bring their tractor. We can ride on it to the village. So now father looks outside and says that the station, we will reach the station just a few minutes, in a few minutes. So Aditi asked that how will we reach the farms? Are there any taxis or autos there? So father says, no, there are no taxis, no autos, there are only buses. And he also tells that maybe Uncle Naresh and Auntie Rujuta will bring their tractor and we can ride on it to the village. Now, after this, Nitya says, I wonder what kind of house they live in. Mother, the house has trees all around it and a courtyard in the center. There is a well at the back. When we were young, we used to sit under the trees at night. Grandpa would tell us stories. The people of the village would gather to listen to the stories. Sometimes, when it was very hot, we would sleep under the trees. They smelled so good and it felt so cool. Now, Nitya asks about the house of uncle and aunt where they live in, and mother now tells them about the description of the house. She says that the house has trees all around it and there is a courtyard in the center. Courtyard means the empty space inside the house surrounded with the walls, and there is one well at the back of the house. And she also tells them that when she was young there were no TVs, so uh, the grandparents used to tell them stories. So her grandpa also used to tell them stories. So she tells them that when they were young, they used to sit under the trees at night and grandpa would tell the story, and all the people of the village would gather there to listen to the stories of the grandpa. And sometimes when it was very hot, they would sleep under the trees, and the trees smelled so good and it felt so cool. So this is how she describes the house of uncle Naresh and Aunt Rujita. Aditi. The houses in the city are usually small. Mother. Well, many houses in the village are small too. Some of them have thatched roofs, some houses are big and have tiled roofs. Now, Aditi wants to know the difference between the houses in the city and the houses in the villages. So she asks her mother, and the mother tells that many houses in the village are small and some of them are big also. The houses that are small, they have thatched roofs. Thatched roofs means the roofs that are made up of straw, leaves and grain stacks. And the houses that are big, they have tiled roofs, means the roofs are made of tiles. Now, the father was listening to their conversation and he says, the train is about to stop at a station. Come, pick up the bags and move towards the exit. Remember, it will stop here for just 2 minutes. So now the father says that train is going to stop at the station, and all of you must pick up your bags and come near the exit. What is exit? Exit is the way to go out. Here the exit is the door of the train. So he tells everybody to pick up their bags and move towards the door because the train will stop there only for 2 minutes. The family gets off at the station. The platform is small and almost empty. Now, when the family gets off at the station, what do they see? That the platform is too small and it is almost empty, means very few persons were there. So it was almost empty. Nobody was there. Only a few persons were there. So Nitya says, Uncle Naresh, Auntie Rujuta. Uncle, welcome. Did you have a comfortable journey? Aditi, we did. Auntie, come this way. The tractor is parked at that end of the station. Nitya, will you drive the tractor, Auntie? Auntie, why not? Would you and Aditi like to sit beside me in the front? Now, when they get off at the station, they saw that Uncle Naresh and Auntie Rujuta are already there to welcome them. Uncle Naresh welcomed them and asked that if they had a comfortable journey. And Auntie Rujuta tells them to follow her because she says that tractor has been parked at the other end of the station. So she tells all of them to follow her. Now, Nitya is very excited. She asks the auntie that if she would drive the tractor. Auntie says, yes, why not? I will drive the tractor. And she offers them to sit beside her in the front. Now, this is the picture of the tractor. Nitya, yes, we would. Aditi, what fun. Will the tractor take us through the fields? Uncle, no, it might spoil the crops. However, you can see the fields as we drive by. So now Nitya is very excited. She says, yes, auntie, why not? We will sit in the front beside you. Now Aditi asks that, will the tractor take us through the fields? Will we go through the fields and reach the farms? Uncle says, no, we will not move through the fields because it might spoil the crops. So, but he says that you can see the fields as we drive by. So, this is the end of the lesson. I hope all of you would have understood it. Now, all of you go through it once again from your book and understand it well. So, this was the part 1 of the video in which I have explained the lesson. I will be soon back with part 2 in which I will be explaining all the back exercises and all the question answers. So you click the link given in the description to watch the second part of Going to the Village, in which I have explained all the question answers and back exercises. Till then, bye bye, have a great time.